Hello, and welcome back to ESSA in Plain Midwestern English. Today we'll discuss the designations, or grades if you will, that ESSA will assign to schools. An important factor to remember is how subgroups will impact a school's designations. Subgroup categories can include students from low income, students with disabilities who have an IEP or individual education plan, and students who previously had an IEP in some point in their schooling but are no longer receiving services. English language learners are a subgroup category too, as are former English language learners who no longer receive services. Each major racial or ethnic group might each be considered a subgroup as well. There are, of course, other factors that might make up a subgroup. These are just a few of the major categories that schools often serve. A subgroup exists if 20 students or more have the same reported characteristics within a given school building. ESSA will assign one of 4 summative school designations to a school. Tier 1 is the highest performing of all schools. A Tier 1 school is said to be exemplary. It will have no underperforming subgroups. Its graduation rate will be higher than 67%. Its performance on assessments and in other categories will be in the top 10% of all schools in the state. Tier 1 schools may apply to serve in the Illinois Empower network of partners leading school improvement efforts throughout the state of Illinois. Next is the Tier 2 designation. Tier 2 schools are said to be commendable. They will have no subgroups performing at or below the all students level of the lowest 5% of Title I schools in Illinois. Their graduation rate will also be greater than 67%. Their performance will not be in the top 10% across the state, but they may still apply to serve in the Illinois Empower network of schools leading school improvement efforts throughout the state of Illinois. The Tier 3 designation is next. ESSA labels Tier 3 schools as underperforming. Tier 3 schools may have one or more subgroups performing at or below the level of the all students group in the lowest 5% of Title I schools. Tier 3 schools will receive targeted support from the Illinois State Board of Education. ESSA's final designation is Tier 4. Tier 4 schools are labeled by ESSA as the lowest performing schools in Illinois. These will be the lowest 5% of schools receiving Title I funding. These schools will have graduation levels at 67% or less and will receive comprehensive support from the Illinois Empower Network. To learn more about the Illinois Empower Network, please visit www.ISBE.net/capital P-AGES/MPOWER.ASPX. It is important to point out that no matter how well most subgroups may perform at a school, if a school has one or more underperforming subgroup, the school cannot receive a designation higher than Tier 3, which is underperforming. And clearly, most schools, 85%, will expect to receive a Tier 2 or Tier 3 rating under ESSA. This has been ESSA in Plain Midwestern English on the District 205 show.